Hello, hello. Welcome back. How are you today? Oh, the tea. Tell me everything. Oh my gosh. So, what's going on? Four, five. So, I prayed to my ancestors and spirit guides last night and listened to some music that is like really soulful. Then I went to bed. Had a really interesting dream. Ooh, okay. Okay. While you tell me the story, I am going to read your cards. We have first the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is an apprentice of communication. They are learning how to communicate, they're learning how to um, express their thoughts and ideas. I was invited to go to the cinema with some old friends. That low-key made me feel really shitty. I didn't have any money and they were just being mean and shady. Then an old guy I used to talk to sent me a message saying he missed me and wanted to grin on him. Oh! Oh my god. Gotcha. Okay. My dad calls me. Says someone is coming to use the bathroom. Dad and the girls came. I wasn't expecting one person. Huh. Know what my ancestors were trying to say because the music I was listening to was from movie centers, and that music was the first time I finally realized my ancestors were with me. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what we've got. Okay. So, yeah, absolutely. I think it would make anybody curious. Okay, so first we have the Knight of Swords. Like I said before, this is someone learning how to communicate and communicating their thoughts and ideas. Um, and sometimes actions speak louder than words, so utilizing actions to communicate. Next, we have the Knight of Wands, who is also uh, learning, but they're learning about their spirituality and their life purpose and their involvement with deities and ancestors. But this is blocked somehow. Um, we then have the devil in reverse. The devil is an adversarial character who is um, not necessarily an enemy, but they can be like really mischievous, and they can be in this position. This can be a feeling of powerlessness. Um, so it could be. Let me pull another card just to see if it ties everything together. Oh, we have the star in reverse. The star. Let me see if I can remember what the star is about. The star. Okay. Hope, healing, calm, and renewal. This is like right after, in the order of the tarot, this comes right after the Tower. This is that piece following the storm. And it's being blocked as well. We've got a lot of reversed cards in this reading. So something is blocking something here. We're out of the storm and we're a little anxious. And we have the Three of Cups. Threes are about friendship. So that might be where the friends are coming in. And with the cups, that's like emotional stuff and feelings and intuition, relationships with others. Okay. So we've got anxiety and friendships. We have learning to communicate, learning about our spirituality and our relationships with our ancestors and deities, and we're feeling powerless in that. We then have the Star, which is the anxiety, and we have the maybe an anxiety around friendships. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Eights are about mastery, accomplishment, and action. Oh, okay, you take your time. Alright, welcome back. So finally we have the Eight of Swords. Eights are all about mastery and accomplishment, and swords is communication. So, and this is at the point of our little 5-card pull here. I think that the key to reversing all of these reversed cards and getting the power back and feeling more connected with your ancestors is mastering that art of communication. Learning to talk about your ancestors, researching your ancestors, like your family tree, researching as far back as you can, and finding out stories of people that knew your ancestors. Like, what are the family rumors that went around? See if you can find family photos, and really like dig into the family history of your direct ancestors. I know for me that was a difficult journey because I, being white, have some not so fun ancestors. They don't want to talk about it. Do you have like old family photo albums? Oh, that's super real. Let me hang on. Let me get another deck. I'm gonna be right back because they grew up on a mission. Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, it really makes you think about that. Hmm. I wonder if there's like cultural research that you could do about like your area where your parents grew up, and like if there's, yeah, I'm gonna use this tarot deck called the Relative Tarot. It's supposed to be like a tarot deck that's specifically for calling on ancestors. I should have used this from the jump. Sorry about that. I just forgot that I had it. There's a card in here that has Harriet Tubman on it, and every time I pull that card, I'm just like, okay, I should feel white guilt right now. Alright. Cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Ooh, first we have the King of Pentacles. It's absolutely good. I think it's super healthy, especially for me, to just be like, to acknowledge not only that things were done wrong in the past, but also like how things devolved to that point, and like figuring out, how to avoid making those same mistakes in the future. But first, you have the King of Pentacles. Kings are CEOs, born natural leaders of in this case, Pentacles, finances, and earthly belongings. Um, and so we have that. And I believe that's Sitting Bull. I'm not sure 100%. I'll give you a closer look. Oh, okay. All right, welcome back. So we have the King of Pentacles, who is all about, oh my gosh, being a natural born leader, and this is in the realm of finances and earthly belongings. So, uh, starting out strong. I, I'm not 100% if that's Sitting Bull or not. I feel like it is. Oh, my headphones are dying. I don't know. I think it is. I'm not sure. Um, Next we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Um, and this is basically somebody who's learning finances and like how to handle their earthly belongings, but they're not quite at the king level just yet. So maybe what's happened is this person has reached the top but ceased to learn how to handle their earthly possessions. And then we have the sun in reverse. And the sun is all about joy and happiness, and it comes, let's see. The sun comes after the moon, and it's after a bunch of self reflection and a bunch of um, working on your own intuition and stuff like that. Um, so it's about like practicing gratitude and being optimistic and vitality as well. So that's an interesting set. Let's see what modifies those things. Ooh, we have the universe. The universe in this deck is like the world. 21, yes. Um, and the the universe or the world represents completion and fulfillment and a greater understanding. Ouch. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. The nines. Back up again. Nines are all about divine finality, maybe salvation, atonement. Could also be destruction. Um, think of like I don't know if you come from a Christian background, but nines also represent like the fruit of the spirit, like faithfulness, gentleness, goodness, joy, kindness, long suffering, love, peace, and self control. Um, so nines are all about just all of your work manifesting in the way that you live your life. Um, and then finally, we have strength in reverse. Oh, okay. So then that might help a little bit in the understanding of this. And then so we have strength in reverse. This doesn't necessarily mean weakness. This could just mean vulnerability. And maybe a lack of courage or a lack of feeling like you can do it. It's almost like the devil in reverse, where like you're feeling kind of powerless. I think that in this case, it would also be a sense of powerlessness, um, or like, or it could just be being blocked by, like we said, like, you could be getting blocked by things outside of your control. But I think this is a little bit of a you got to be a little bit of a little red hen about this this here. I think that's why we got strength and not the devil, because it's not that we're powerless, it's that we have to find another route. Um, the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Let's see. Maybe there was some money or somebody had a really successful business um, or practice, and I think the Knight of Pentacles in reverse here might be that they gave up that practice, and the Sun in reverse, just putting everything into the context of the pull, I think, let's see. We started with natural born leader who was in control of themselves, who was like totally in control of themselves. And then we seem to digress, or not digress, we seem to revert back to this state of learning and an inability to learn. And then the Sun, our happiness and joy, is reversed. We're possibly experiencing sadness. But then we have the universe, and that's upright. Huh. What you got? Oh, interesting. Okay. And then they were colonized. Man. I'm so sorry that happened. I think what's. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I wonder if, like, that was when. Um. When they started hiding the past and, like, not wanting to talk about the family history and all of that. Hmm. I think what's happening here in this reading is we've got kind of like a past section with this top three, and then the present is the universe. Like, we're seeking the universe, we're seeking spirituality and everything, and we, like, you are going to reap the rewards of doing that. Um, but the obstacle is um, you're gonna have to like you gotta find workarounds to get the information that you need. Yeah, and that just makes me sad that, like, they would be ashamed of who they are. Yeah, man. Man. I wonder if you could find, like, and make a scrapbook of all of your research. Like, if you could find pictures of the cultural attire and like the original, like, land. Okay. Something in particular about us. Hmm. Let me see. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I think there was. I think just looking at all of this together, I think the story that it's telling is that one of your ancestors had like a brilliant business idea um or was like ahead of their household or was just very successful, um and they were like they had the rug pulled out from under them, like they got swindled. I know I'm descended from a really big tribe that was monumental in my country's birth. Wow. Wow. With the men with no knees. What does that mean? Oh, okay. Oh, got you, got you. That makes sense. Yeah. The Knight of Wands. Yeah. That makes sense. Hmm. Let me see. Ow. Spiritually immature person. The Four of Pentacles. You're totally good. There was an ad that ran. Um, I'm asking the deck, like, what happened? Like, what is the situation? And what I have so far is we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is in reverse. So somebody swindled an ancestor out of their success and made them relearn. We have the Knight of Wands here next. They made them relearn spirituality, and it was kind of a blind leading the blind situation. The teachers were spiritually immature, and so the those being taught were not getting the full picture. We then This is then adjusted by the Four of Pentacles, which fours, I'm looking at my notes here, they're about manifestations, foundations, and stability, but they are also seasons, time, the cardinal directions like north, south, east, and west, and the world. So, in like a secular kind of way. Um, I think like I think this is just describing the nature of colonialism. Like, this is because we see this card and she's like huddled and like clutching onto her coin. But yeah, and like when I did just like a tiny bit of research, I saw how like my tribe had people that had similar gifts to mine. Makes sense because when I found out about my great grandfather being a chief, it took me by a huge surprise. Oh wow, your great grandfather was a chief. That's crazy. I think that he was the one that was swindled. Um, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, somebody is like the head cheese. We're looking at someone who like was head of household, was like the person in charge, and they just got kneecapped by somebody, by white people colonizing. I'm gonna see how much more of this story this deck will tell me. Because, like, we kind of. It's not a huge revelation that, like. My grandmother told my mother how my grandfather had to carry the white missionaries across a really dangerous lake filled with crocodiles. It was really admirable for him to do that. Oh my god. Thank you. And they would like to say thank you to my grandfather. Wow. Then she was just laughing and rolling her eyes, saying how stupid he was and the whole thing, knowing her father's role. have the best relationship, but at the same time, I do feel like she's still a girl. I totally get that. Okay. Queen of Cups. What about your great grandmother? Would you say that she was like, you don't know much about her? Okay. Well, this person that the deck is describing is very much like in control of their emotions and their feelings, and like maybe they come across as like a little bit stoic sometimes. Um but I want the answer to why she, what you guys want to tell her. You don't happen to have like a so they grew up on a mission. Is there any way, like, is there a reservation or anything that you can go back to? Oh, a reservation is like, it's like an air, a piece of land that's reserved for um, indigenous people um, who have, like in America, we have uh, reservations for the Native Americans and the tribes that are recognized by the state. Um, and those tribes live on the reservations because technically, like, they're a different nation within this nation. Um, so it's kind of like that. Okay, okay. I think that would be a really good trip for you. I think looking at what I'm seeing in front of me, I think I don't think many people are from there. I think there's more people from there than you know. I think there's I think you might run into somebody when you go um if you go. Or if not somebody, then like an animal or some piece of nature, um something alive is waiting for you there. I used to talk to him out there last year. Oh wow. Places I went to in the dream are similar to the images I'm looking at now. This is my first time seeing the images, girl. OMG. That's crazy. Like you're looking at images of the monument and stuff. Oh, you're totally good. Um, are you looking at images of the monument and stuff, or are you talking about the images on the stream? Nice. That's awesome. I love that when like a dream is pointing you in a certain direction. I think you gotta go visit that monument, friend. I think the more you follow these little breadcrumbs, that's when we're gonna get that Nine of Pentacles. I finished because whilst I was talking to you, I was like, that's funny. Oh, what the? My dad really wants us to go because my grandma isn't so well. Oh wow. I hope you get the chance to go. I think that would be awesome. they're, you know what? It's the workaround. We're finding little workarounds. They're your strength. They're, that's why it's reversed. It's you gotta trust that your ancestors are gonna get you to where they need you to go. That's so funny. Yeah. I think the dream is about I don't have the cards in front of me anymore, but I'm what I'm remembering is the old guy. Oh, hang on, an ad is gonna start in like 30 seconds. Um, I think what was being communicated there was you have to learn how to say. Okay, awesome. Um, there's an element of learning how to say yes and how to say no in certain situations. Like with the. Oh, it's coming in like 3 seconds. I'll wait. All right, we should be back. I totally forgot what I was saying. Welcome back. Um, oh, okay. So with the girls, yes, it's with the girls and the guy, we've got two different instances of times when you should say no. One is more obvious, the old man, um, and one is a little bit more subtle. You know, they invite you to go to a movie. Yeah, absolutely. Um, like, but the shadiness of that first group of friends, um, you know, it's interesting because one could say that this is an anxiety dream, but another could say that this is your ancestors informing you of a moral that you need to learn from this. I think with the tied in images that you were researching, I think this would be something that like your ancestors want you to work on. Because remember, they're your family who are looking out for you. Um, I think it's I think it's meant to start a conversation about how you handle rejection and rejecting other people. Um, I think like, are you the type of person who um, will like say yes to every invitation no matter what, or like are you the kind of person who's like, I'm gonna scope it out and then see, like, would you have acted that way that you did in the dream if they were being shady? My anxiety is so bad I think it ties down. Hey, it could be an anxiety dream too. But one could also say that an anxiety dream and a dream from the ancestors are the same thing. Yes, actually. Then, like, before we went into the film, we were waiting for food, and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. I think, like, then I stood my ground. I think that's the lesson right there. Learning how to stand your ground when people are being shady and straight up crazy to you. You know what's interesting? I've worked in customer service for like 10 years now. It's been so long. And it's interesting how sometimes people will come at you like guns a blazing, but if you just kindly stand your ground and inform them of like what the options are, like calmly and collected, then they will totally just chill out. You know, it'll de escalate pretty quickly. I think that that firm de escalation is what we're working on here. This learning to stand your ground, but with kindness, you know? I think the lesson with the guy is to learn not to ignore it, but to learn how to tell people like that to fuck off. Yeah. And usually stuff like that just comes out of the clear blue sky because, like, they're sitting on a crush just by themselves for however long, and you're just like living your life. You don't know what's going on. And here they were showing you some lessons. I think you should keep praying to them. I think that's really helping you out. And the more you pray about you pray to them, the more you should research them as much as you can. Follow the breadcrumbs, like going to this monument, and that was a good pick. There we go. Um, Going to the monument and like looking for more breadcrumbs in nature. And sometimes, just from my personal experience, I've found that sometimes there's no breadcrumbs in the moment, and the breadcrumbs come with more prayer. Um, because sometimes you're just meant to follow. It's not one big puzzle. It's an anthology of puzzles, right? Just seeing the images and stuff on Wikipedia low-key scared me. Like, I've been to those places in my dream. Expect them on. But... oh, wow. But yeah, um, just like be ready to meditate on what you've got for a little while, and then when you're ready, the next, you know, the next puzzle will appear. Get this somber feeling looking at images. Wow. I think that's super real, and I think it'll be really powerful for you when you visit, um, because if you're getting that somber feeling just looking at images of it, like being in the presence of it is gonna be so powerful. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of like, I hate to say like vibrations, like that sounds so new age, but like I feel like there's gonna be like a resonance. This places before it felt like a world only for it to be where I'm originally from. Yeah, absolutely. Sinners really did something to me. I think it's interesting. I You're not the first person I've heard say something like that about Sinners. Um I need to watch it so that I can understand like all these revelations people are having. Um I think you did. Let me see if I can do this without spoiling the movie for myself. It was the music I was listening to before I went to sleep. Also, I feel like someone was in the room with me. Oh, someone was in the room with you. Let's see. I'm going to use the other deck for this because it might not necessarily have been an ancestor. Let's see. So first, we're going to be asking about the movie Sinners soundtrack and the significance. One, two, three, four, five. I'm just going to put that up there. Okay, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Tens are about the end of a cycle, completion, and renewal. But they are also about testimony and law and complete order. This is in reverse. So that means this this is an end of a cycle as it pertains to earthly goods and finances and things like that. I think, let me see. Then we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents religion, organized religion, and the first faith that the Fool is introduced to on the Fool's journey. It's the first spiritual guidance that they get. And then we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is about, it's, I would say that this is about a team coming together to finish something. It could be coming together in a bit of a violent way. It has to do with communication, thoughts, and action. So, like, in this way, like, usually this card is three swords stabbed into a heart. So it can be about, like, betrayal. I think with them cutting the cake, it could also be about friendship and sharing and redistribution of wealth. So we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which is I'm gonna say this is a cycle that's not yet closed, or work is yet to be done in order for the cycle to be closed up. And then we have the Hierophant, which is about organized religion, and then teamwork to finish a cycle. So, okay. Then we have Strength. And the Seven of Pentacles. Sevens are about divine completion, control, logical assessment. And that's going to be over an earthly possession. Which, like, earthly possessions aren't necessarily finances. They're also, like, family members, family trees. Yeah, I was gonna be writing my book tonight, but but when you joined, I was like, yeah, I could do a tarot reading. Ain't no big deal. And then we have the Six of Wands. Sixes are about humanity and witchcraft with an intent to harm instead of heal. Um, don't be sorry, you're totally good. Um, and this is about like spirituality. So like this is like if you're this could be kind of like a retribution type of thing. So okay. We've got organized religion needing to be taken down by the use of friends and in order to complete the cycle because there's a cycle at play. Um, I would hazard a guess that the cycle is that of colonization. Um, Strength and the Seven of Pentacles are about coming together as a family. Oh, there's an ad. That's confirmation that this is coming from the ancestors. Alright. It says that the ad break ends in 10 seconds, but I will keep on going. Oh, that's a sprinklers. I thought something. I thought my dog was peeing on the bed. Um, he's not. Okay. So. So, we have. In the top row, we have the Hierophant in the center position, and then these two on the outsides. We have this cycle that needs to be broken in order to complete not financial, but possession of earthly belongings. I'm going to say that this is earthly belongings in this, for the purpose of this reading, is family members and ancestors. Um, the Three of Swords represents your ancestors and you coming together to break the cycle of what organized religion has done to your family. Because colonization is organized religion is a tool of colonization. Um, then we have strength coming from the ancestors in the Seven of Pentacles. They are the divine coming to give you strength. And then the Six of Wands is going to be, you got to do witchcraft about it. That's how you that's doing the doing the work of like spending time in nature and spending time praying to your ancestors and divining what they want you to do next in your next steps through tarot or through gazing or through whatever method you want to use. I think that is going to be the thing that breaks this cycle up here. And I think that's what the music from the movie Sinners was getting at. I don't know if there's like a religious element to Sinners. I'm assuming because it's called Sinners. But I think that like I think that's what brought us here to the Hierophant. Witchcraft related to my culture, but so far I connect to them through music. Okay. Okay. I think what this reading is confirming is that the ancestors were the ones who put that music in your head to begin with in order for you to be listening to it. And then it was a tool for them to get you to start looking at that first puzzle there. Good, I'm glad. I love when I say things that make sense. Was that them in the room? Let's see. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Past life is this life. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't I don't want to judge anybody else's work with tarot. But I like the way I think about tarot is that um, it's just a story that the cards are telling us. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Um, but if you go into it with like an open mind and you're not like trying to find like well, not necessarily trying to find, like you should have a question in mind. Um, but I always feel like people who are like, you had a past life, or this particular person is reaching out to you, like, they feel scammy to me. Yeah, absolutely. I also don't know what thinking about past lives does for the present self. Like, if you need healing, wouldn't you want to heal your present life instead of your past life? You One life is enough trauma, you know? Oh, I'm so glad that I make you feel comfortable. That is my goal. Yeah, it's been a hot second. You jumped in like as soon as I started the stream. And it's been about an hour and a half. But it's been fun. Your fear of water. Oh man. See, I'm not confident like that. I'm like, is there? Does this make sense? Yeah, absolutely. And as you should, frankly. Well, thank you so much. I love your vibe and shit. Thank you. That's so cool of you to say. Alright. That's so cool. Honestly, I think the coolest. I'm thinking of ordering food actually, but apartment wants to save money. That's super real. Let's do a poll to see if you should save money. I'm gonna pull up from the Ancestors deck because they're gonna have better advice. One, two, three, four, five. The Emperor in reverse. That's your masculine energy in reverse. It's gonna be a no. It's gonna be save money. I'm so sorry. Oh man. Egg sandwich. Ooh, egg sandwich sounds so good right now. With like a little bit of cheese, a little bit of hot sauce. Yeah, you do that. And I'll get started on my book. Yes, the avocado. Okay. You just let me know. You are so welcome anytime. That is such a huge compliment. Well, I'm glad I could be the medium by which they communicate with you. For real, the coolest card of the night was this Ace of Pentacles when we asked if they were in the room. Like this gave me chills, dude. Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully it feels peaceful and comforting to know that they're looking over you. All right, you enjoy your dinner. All right. We're writing Secrets of Ashvale. Right. It's 12:30. I'm just gonna write down all my ideas. Excuse me. Alright, I think that's all I have right now. I think I'm gonna call it for the night. I'm so tired. I love you, and I appreciate you, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.